So, I watched Rubber. It's a movie about a killer tire, but not really. Usually when I do one of these, I would do like a little spoiler-free bit before I really go into the movie. But I'm not sure that is possible for this film. It's a weird one, and not just the fact that a tire that kills people is weird. Weird in that that's not even the focus of the movie, really. And also, I can't even say if this is like a good or a bad movie. Obviously, movies are like all very subjective, and I can't just like tell you if it's something that you're gonna like or not. I'm not sure if I liked it. It's a movie that says stuff. I'm still trying to work out what it's saying. It's been like half a day since I watched it, and I'm just kind of like stewing in it. It's a bit weird. It's a weird one. If you want to watch 90 minutes, some of which is a tire killing people, some of it is some questions about how we view movies as the audience and our relationship with the people who make movies. If you want to see that, I recommend the film. If you want the just a B movie where a tire kills people, this movie is not even for you. I came into the film wanting a movie about a tire that kills people. I just fancied some like silly B movie, but I got this instead, and I'm not even sure how I feel about it. So, yeah. I'm gonna do spoilers for the rest of the video now. I'm not even sure if it is a movie that I can spoil. I do think you have to see it to make your own opinions about it, though. God, I'm making zero sense. Spoilers from here. Get out of here. Go. So before I talk about the movie, I'll give you like a speedy synopsis. So the movie opens with a policeman driving through a load of chairs and destroying all the chairs, and then talking directly to the camera, to us, the audience. Not really. He's actually talking to a big group of people behind the camera, but it's as if we're like part of the group. And he's saying, why does all this stuff happen in movies? Why is E.T. brown? Why in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre does no one go to the toilet? And the answer to all of these questions is no reason. You think that is talking about their own movie. Like, why is the tire awake and killing people? Oh, no reason. But I suppose there's no reason for that. But the rest of the movie is full of reason. And I feel like this is meant to throw us off. But it's as if he's talking directly to us, the audience. There's a big group of people, and they are there to watch a movie. Really, they're in the desert, and they're watching the killer tire through some binoculars. And then we get to the tire part of the film, and the tire is just buried in some sand, and it starts moving, and it gets up, and it starts just squishing stuff. It squishes a plastic water bottle, and then it squishes a scorpion, and it tries to squish a glass bottle, but it can't, and then it uses telekinetic powers to just shatter the bottle. And then it goes around and it kills a rabbit and a bird. Then it sees a human driving a car, and it tries to kill her, but it doesn't. And then it goes and explodes a man's head. And all the while we've got the audience watching the tire through binoculars from a distance. So the tire follows this woman that it tried to kill and didn't. And it follows her to a motel where she's staying. And it kind of stalks her. The tire books into the motel in the room next to her and is watching TV really loudly. And then in the morning, she leaves and the tire keeps watching TV. It has a shower. And when someone comes in to clean the room, they're like, oh, a tire. And she throws it out of the room, and then the tire explodes her head. After a while, all the audience that are watching through binoculars are getting really hungry because they're out in the desert. So someone brings them just a turkey, and they're all grabbing and eating just this turkey because they're so hungry, apart from one guy. And the turkey was poisoned, and they all die, apart from this one guy who didn't eat the turkey. And the policeman who was at the start of the film talking to us about, like, oh, there's no reason for any of these things happening, turns up to investigate the murder of the woman in the motel who the tire exploded. And while he's there, he expects all the audience have been poisoned and are now dead. And he goes on like a long rant. He starts talking to all the other police people, and he's like, we can go home now, like, you can stop pretending all the audience is dead. And they all think he's crazy, obviously. The guy who poisoned everyone in the audience turns up, and he's like, oh no, there's one guy still alive. So he like continues being a policeman. He's like, oh, we need to go find the killer. They work out it's the tire. They all chase the tire for a bit, and there's this one audience guy still watching. They track the tire down to a house where it's watching TV. They use the woman from earlier to like lure it outside, and they use like a mannequin that's dressed like her, that's rigged with some like dynamite, so when the tire tries to blow up the mannequin, it'll blow up itself. But that doesn't work. The guy who's still watching in the audience turns up and directly speaks to the policeman, and he's like, why are you doing this? Wouldn't it be more efficient to just like go in and like explode the tire with like a flamethrower or a bazooka or something? And the police guy's like, no, we're doing it this way. It doesn't work. The policeman walks into the room where the tire is, shoots the tire off camera, and then brings out just the bits of tire and throws it at the audience members' feet. And he's like, yeah, we're done. The tire's been stopped. It's over. The audience member's like, this is a cop-out. Then the tricycle rolls out of the room where the tire was and uses its mind powers to explode the audience member, and then it drives off and collects like a whole load of other tires that roll behind the tricycle as it travels to Hollywood, and then the movie ends. This video is not going to be like a really deep analysis of the movie because I only watched it 12 hours ago, and it's a weird one to try and like work out what it's trying to say. So I went into the movie, I just wanted a silly B movie about a tire that kills people. Like, I thought that would be fun, and instead I got this. There's like a decent amount of tire murder. It's not like satisfying or like tense or anything, because the whole movie is so meta. The plot of the movie does not even matter, really. While there is a tire that kills people, it's not important. And that's the thing that draws you into the movie. Like, I want to see a movie about a tire that kills people. And then that's not what you get when you go see the film. You get like a weird commentary on how audiences interact with the media that they watch. As the audience of the actual film, we are in the same position as the audience within the film. As like a cursory reading of the film, like, this is what I got out of it. The movie itself only exists if there is an audience to watch it. When the police officer thinks that no one is watching the movie anymore, he is like, he's done. He's like, we can stop pretending now, like, we're actors, we can go home. I don't think that the movie hates the audience, but it is a weird thing when in a film they poison the entire audience surrogate like 30 minutes in. Now we don't need the audience anymore, we're going to deliberately murder the audience. And like, I'm not really sure what to make of that. And then they continue to try and kill the last member of the audience, like via poison. This is going to be a really rambly video because I have a lot of thoughts about the movie, and it's very difficult to put them in context. The movie kills most of the audience, but for most of the film, the audience is entirely separate from the killer tire. Like, the killer tire exists as a movie that they are watching from a distance, although the policeman who turns up earlier and the man who poisons them both cross between the world of the movie and the audience. Like, the policeman directly interacts with them, and so does the other guy. Until right at the end of the film, where the last remaining audience member comes and tries to tell the policeman how to do his job. I feel like this is a comment on like audience critiques of films, where they're like, why didn't they just do this? Or like, oh, it makes no sense that no one goes to the toilet in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, in real life, people need to go to the toilet. And it's just, is the movie directly targeting those people? Like, people who try and nitpick movies like this? Not naming any names? Put the CinemaSins logo up here. The movie is explicitly saying a lot of things, but I don't feel like I have the language or analysis skills to work out what it is saying. With like a really quick reading, you could just think the movie hates the audience. I would say that the first like half an hour of the movie are not very interesting. It's just a tire rolling around murdering things and like the audience on the screen talking, and it's like, this isn't very interesting. It's the idea that the movie is trying to kill the actual audience and like make them stop watching by the movie not being very interesting, and then the rest of the movie is like the continuing trying to kill the audience. Like, you've heard of Death of the Author, this is Death of the Audience. It's a very weird one. My thoughts on it are that it's saying that there needs to be a distinction between audience and movie. The filmmakers know what they're doing when they're making a film, and they have something to say. The audience doesn't get an input in that. This isn't collaborative filmmaking. The filmmaker is saying what they want to say, and your like nitpicks and oh, why didn't you do this? They have no place in the film. When the last audience member is telling them how they should go about killing the tire, they deliberately do the least exciting thing and do it off camera, rather than have some big action set piece, just to like deliberately undercut what the audience is expecting and what they want out of the film. It's very weird. And right at the end, when the tricycle and all the tires roll up to Hollywood, it's as if they're now going to target the filmmakers themselves. The tire that was in the whole movie resents the fact that it was in a movie, and now it's going to take it out on the filmmakers. I've finished my drink now, so that's the end of the video. It's a very strange one, and like, I encourage you to watch the movie. I'm not sure how much you'll be into it. It is a strange one, and it is, I think, deliberately difficult to watch. I'm not sure how to feel about making a movie hard to watch, because even if you've done it on purpose, you've still made a difficult movie. So I'm not sure. I don't know how to feel about this film, and I encourage you to go seek it out and tell me your thoughts, because I'm confused, and I would like some second opinions. Thanks for joining me as I ramble about a movie I've just seen. I hope you had a nice time. Yeah, if you've seen the movie, tell me your analysis on it, because I think mine is very poor. And hey, I hope you stick around for the next boring video that I make. Until the next time, goodbye. Whoa, what a bad ending. Almost as bad as Robert.